Okay, well, our time together just got a lot shorter and a lot more appropriate. Graduates, the class of 2018, congratulations to you all. People, let's have a round of applause for the Arborbrook Christian Academy. All right, look, we all know that you all already know pretty much everything. You're on top of the world. For the past 18 years of your life, you've been taught and guided and lectured and mentored. You've had early morning advice from your parents over a half-full glass of orange juice, and late-night lectures from those same parents when you stayed out past curfew without a call, text, or exclamation. You read the blogs, the tweets, and the old people Facebook posts. Okay, well, maybe you skimmed those. You've had more pep talks than the losing girls basketball team at halftime. You know how to act, how to behave, what to do when, and how to do it because you've had it pounded into you day after day. So if I were you, and it was 25 years ago, and I was sitting where you are sitting, I'd be thinking to myself, why in the world would I want to sit here and listen to one more old man stand in front of me and give me pithy thin advice based on outdated experience that happened half a lifetime ago? And you'd be right, I guess. But you voted for me and to be your graduation speaker, and I'm here. And so for the next 2 hours and 45 minutes or so, you're stuck. I wrote so many jokes for this speech. I wrote lots of Arborbrook jokes, gluten-free jokes, essential oil jokes, jokes about the school facility, the locker hallway, the lunch porch, the sports program, the drama program, the cottage, the administration. I wrote a joke about Arborbrook board member Matt Depp, where he and his vastly more famous brother Johnny started a rip-off ice cream business called Depp & Dots. I wrote a hilarious Nathan Julia joke that Julia politely asked me to never, ever repeat out loud, ever again. And an unprintable joke about Sam Kitchen hanging out in the kitchen of an old folks' home with a bunch of swearing old folks. All they ever said was, "What in the Sam Kitchen?" But then I realized that all these jokes are about me, and today is not about me. It's about you, the Arborbrook graduating class of 2018. I'm proud of every one of you. Take a minute and look around. All of these people are proud of you. Every person here, one way or the other, is proud of you and loves you. Well, to at least some extent. And wow, look at the 9 of you. I know that if I was part of your graduating class, at some point in the near future, I'm pretty sure I'd say this in the middle of an argument. I don't know why you think you're so smart. I mean, I bet you weren't 9th in your graduating class, like I was. Or who has 2 thumbs and graduated in the top 10 of their high school class? This guy. Some of you I know pretty well, some of you I don't know at all. But let me tell you this, you guys for the past 13 years have done some pretty spectacular things. You've made it all the way from kindergarten to elementary school, through high school, and you finished with a passable GPA. You played sports, built computers, worked jobs, sang in plays, created secret Instagram accounts, grew stuff in gardens, launched potatoes, made lifelong friendships, and developed into decent human beings along the way. And this is your day. To put this into perspective, you spent 943 hours in elementary school per year. That's 5,658 hours in just grades 1 through 6. In 7th through 12th, you spent 1,215 hours per year. That's another 7,290 hours. The total hours of your life spent in school so far is right around 12,984. If someone out there is adding these numbers up, please remember that I went to public school in South Carolina. Heck, if you were homeschooled at some point, that number could either be twice or half, depending on your parents. Here's a kicker for you. If you spent all that time here at Arborbrook, your parents coughed up a dollar total somewhere north of $104,000 for tuition. That number does not include lunches, field trip fees, Apple computer purchases, sports registrations, doctor visits, clothes, shoes, and essential oils for your teachers. Oh, and all the while they were paying on a mortgage. If you think that's a huge number, you should also consider all the dioramas and science fair projects and Spanish papers and historic English castle models made out of food and math corrections and crafty Christmas presents for the principal that they did after you had given up and gone to bed. How about right now we have a round of applause for the parents? Ever since I got the text message from Nathan Spear asking me to be the graduation speaker, we do things formally here at the Brook, I thought a lot about what to say. I was also slightly intimidated in the task of following in Pastor Stephen Furtick's footsteps as he was was last year's speaker. To all the graduates, thank you for lowering your standards and asking me to speak today. To all the parents who are saying to themselves, Wade Grimes, why Wade Grimes? I'm with you. And I'm sorry, and yes, I have put on a few extra pounds, and yes, my hair is super gray these days, and you're right, but the beard is coming in nicely. To prepare for the writing of this commencement address, I looked up some inspirational quotes. Here's one from Chris Rock. Hey kids, check this out. You can be anything that you're good at, as long as they're hiring. And even then it helps to know somebody. But that doesn't really work, and there's not much there to hang a speech on. I thought this one might work. Remember, just like Darth Vader, strong people don't put others down, they lift them up. But I thought that too might be out of date at this point, and memes don't really translate well to graduation speeches. I thought for a while about quoting George W. Bush when he said that if you go to college and if you get a 2.0 GPA, you too can be the President of the United States. But then Jen thought that might not be a good idea. I thought about quoting something really cheesy and trying to pass it off as cool, like this. In a world where you can be anything, just be nice. As much as my advanced tech class knows that I feel very strongly about the value of kindness, it didn't seem to fit. Plus your mom's been telling you to be nice since you were like 2 years old. So I settled on this. Advice that my dad gave me when I was in college. Now my dad, Dr. Larry Grimes, professor emeritus at Clemson University, didn't send me a lot of letters when I was in college. He preferred to mail onions. Many times over the 4 years when I was in college, I would open my college post office mailbox to find a yellow slip of paper. Those yellow slips of paper were the best thing ever to find in your college mailbox because they indicated that you had a package waiting for you behind the mail counter. You took that yellow slip of paper and walked tall to the mail counter, the envy of all your friends. You handed that yellow slip of paper to one of the blue-haired old ladies that had been working behind that mail counter since 1937. They would say, well, what in Sam Kitchen? Looks like you got a package. They'd turn around, root for a while in a pile of brown paper, and then trade you that yellow slip for a box. This was always awesome, until I saw my name and address on the outside of the box in my dad's handwriting. At that point, the image of the care package full of cookies and peanut butter and candy and coffee and encouragement from our high school youth group that I was imagining in my head evaporated. I knew immediately what it was, a Vidalia onion. I have no idea why. What in the world was I supposed to do with Vidalia onion at age 19 at Asbury College? I probably ended up climbing to the top of the administration building and launched it as far as I could onto Reasoner Green. I hear that Asbury University Fizz plant is still struggling with a strange but stubborn onion problem on Reasoner Green to this day. But I also have one very vivid I also have one very vivid memory of the one non-onion letter that he wrote me. I was probably a sophomore or a junior, and I was in the midst of trying to figure out who I was, what I wanted to do, who I wanted to be. I guess that I may have mentioned it to my mom, and my mom may have mentioned it to my dad. I'm sure she totally blew it out of proportion because I never stress, I never worry, I never get anxious, and I never, ever, above all, lose my cool. Anyway, I opened that non-onion letter, and in my dad's perfect handwriting, flowing out of that Mont Blanc fountain pen that he always wrote with, he said something along these lines. Therefore I tell you, do not worry about your life, what you will eat or drink, or about your body, what you will wear. Is not life more than food and the body more than clothes? Look at the birds of the air. They do not sow or reap or store away in barns, and yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not much more valuable than they? Can any one of you, by worrying, add one single hour to your life? And why do you worry about clothes? See how the flowers of the field grow? They do not labor or spin, yet I tell you that not even Solomon in all of his splendor was dressed like one of these. If that is how God clothes the grass of the field, which is here today and tomorrow is thrown into the fire, will he not much more clothe you, O you of little faith? So do not worry, saying, what shall we eat, or what shall we drink, or what shall we wear? For the pagans run after these things, and your heavenly Father knows that you need them. But seek first the kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well. Therefore, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry for itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own. I think I probably still have that letter somewhere. I tried to find it so that I could quote directly from it, and it probably would have been better if I had, because in my head, the next line in his perfect handwriting, flowing from his Mont Blanc pen was, dude, chill. But I don't think that's quite right. I remember reading that letter. I remember where I was. I remember what I was doing. I remember what I was feeling and I remember what I was wearing. Not really that big of a thing. I wore the exact same thing to class every day. Not my best years. I was at first just so happy that it wasn't an onion, but it was what the letter said that ended up meaning a great deal to me. At some point over the next 4 years, and even more likely, many, many times after you've graduated, you're going to come up against something that stresses the junk out of you. You will be stressed to the gills, tired, anxious, scared, and worried. Your head will hurt, your face will explode, you will eat that entire 5-pound bag of peanut M&Ms in one sitting. When you come up against that time, think of my dad, of his onions, his handwriting, and his thoughtful use of Matthew 6:25-34. I can promise you that no matter how dark that day is, you'll be okay. You'll make it through, and you'll remember how it felt so you can tackle the next crisis. Can any of you, by worrying, add 1 single hour to your life? The answer is no. The second thing that my dad, Dr. Larry Grimes, told me was, no one is going to let you starve. This is probably more along the lines of advice that you'll need after you graduate college, when you're working that barely above minimum wage job, trying to pay the rent, trying to buy food, trying to keep it all together, but you can't, and you're starting to split at the seams. Remember all those people who 5 minutes ago were applauding you? Your parents, your grandparents, that one guy from church that you can't remember his name, but he always remembers yours? They're the same people that will help you when you need it, and you will need it. I thought for a long time after college that I could do it all on my own. I blocked everyone out, tried to carry it all by myself. You know what happens when you do that? You break, you lose it, stuff falls apart. Everything that you're juggling starts to hit the ground. Keep the people who love you in your life. Take help when it's offered, and ask for it when you need it. You don't have to do it all by yourself, and no one is going to let you starve. The third piece of advice my dad gave me is the hardest one to follow. You're about to be fully on your own for the first time. No one is going to get you up in the morning. No one is going to make sure that you go to bed. No one is going to tell you that it's a really bad idea to eat a full-size Snickers bar every day, and no one is going to stop you. As an aside, take it from me, please. Do not eat a full-size Snickers bar every day when you go to college. It's a bad idea. Other bad ideas: beer, majoring in English, climbing the outside of buildings, playing Mario Kart, driving late at night on Kentucky back roads with people who are trying to stand in the back of your pickup truck. My dad's advice was this: go to class. To be honest, college is hard, but it's not that hard. There's stuff that you have to do, assignments to turn in, tests to take, and homework to finish. But if I can graduate, so can you. It all starts with this: make the decision to go to class. There are lots of excuses that you can make. The weather is too nice to go to class. The weather is too nasty to go to class. It's too far. I'm too tired. I'm already late. No one likes me. Everyone likes me. I eat a Snickers bar every day. I smell like onions. Chapel was too deadly boring for me to have to do anything else today. My friends don't have class this hour. I have to play some random sport. I like Mario Kart better than Dr. whatever her name is. You can make excuses all day long, and some of them may even be valid. But you will not pass, and you will not graduate. You will not get a good job, and you will end up eating Triscuits in your parents' basement in your undershirt if you do not go to class. When I was 18, during the Christmas break between the first semester and the second semester of my freshman year, I made the mistake of thinking that the Grove Park Inn is constructed better than it is. The Grove Park Inn is a hotel in Asheville that's covered in the rock that the builders excavated from the surrounding mountains. After dinner one evening, while my family was celebrating my sister getting engaged to be married, super boring, I climbed 3 steps up the outside of the Grove Park, 3 stories up the outside of the Grove Park Inn, and believe it or not, a rock that was somehow poorly glued to the side of the building came off in my hand. I ended up following the 3 stories back to the brick patio below. Also, believe it or not, I broke my leg. On top of having a broken leg and a cast and being on crutches, the day that class started up, second semester back to school, it was snowing sideways through sleeting rain and terrible wind. The sidewalks were solid, covered in ice. If anyone had an excuse not to go to class, it was me. Did I stay in bed? No. I got out, slipped and fell twice on the way, but made it in time to get the last seat in that 19th century English lit class, conveniently right next to this girl who I'd been eyeballing for the past couple months. Because I followed my dad's advice, not only did I pass the class, I eventually graduated, and I married that girl. Lastly, Madeline, Julia, Lydia, Adam, Nathan, Sam, Hayden, Samantha, and Lily Queen. Over the next 4 years, decide not to coast. Be the anomaly and throw yourself into it. Use these college years to go on an adventure. Study abroad, travel outside of your normal circle, go on a mission trip to Haiti or Paraguay or India or somewhere in the world that is the direct opposite of Wesley Chapel, North Carolina. Serve someone other than yourself for a period of time longer than a couple weeks. It will change you in ways that you will still be trying to figure out 24 years later. You will never have an easier chance in your life to do something as big. Decide to say yes more than you say no, but to all the things you should say yes to, obviously, parents. Late night mudsliding on the golf course in the rain? Yes. Early morning hike in the dark to watch the sunrise over the cliffs on the Kentucky River? Yes. Full-size Snickers bar every day? Yes. I mean, no. Go out for the university Quidditch team? No. I mean, yes. Surround yourself with people that want the best for you, that no matter how much that you think you need it in order to fulfill your stadium-sized rock star dreams, they'll tell you that it's not a good idea to pay for that brand new canary yellow Fender Telecaster guitar with the credit card that you just received in the mail after applying for it at freshman orientation. Find that guy. Find that guy that will help you be your best self. Quickly drop everyone else. There is nothing wrong with not being friends with toxic people. That's the nice thing about graduating high school and moving away. There are a zillion people out there. Find the good ones. Be the good one. Lastly, I already said lastly, it's far more important to say, I'm sorry, than it is to hear it. When someone does tell you I'm sorry, accept it and move on. Don't dwell on stupid things. Remember that it costs nothing to be a decent human. Do everything that you can to take the rough edges out of life. Treat people how you want to be treated, and look at life through a lens of grace. Because a life lived full of grace is a life well lived. Spread hope like fire, and live these next few years like the crazy ruckus cacophony that they should be. But above all, go to class. Congratulations, Arborbrook, graduating class of 2018. So that was going to be the end of the speech, until I found out that just a few weeks ago we have a graduate that has signed up to join the Marine Corps. Thank you, Sam Kitchen, on behalf of everyone here for your dedication, commitment, and willingness to serve. You have my cell number. Call me.